How's it going?
It's going well.
Good. We're getting a little bit of a buzz. Is that my end or your end?
Well, it might be my end.
It's kind of a, I'm getting an echo.
Hmm. Maybe I should.
Oh, yeah, when you muted it, it stopped.
Well, let me see if I can figure out what's going on with this, and I might have to drop out and come back.
Okie dokie.
I'll be back.
Okay. All right. Maria, are you gonna join me? Well, I'm in here because you wanted to be included. You want to be included, so I'm. Hello, Holly.
Hi,
Hello,
how are
Sarah.
you?
We're well. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. And we got Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hi, David.
Hi, David Lincoln.
Hello.
Can you get under there?
Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello. Usually,
And I see Dan.
Dan the man.
Is that better?
A little bit. There's Kim. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'll be annoying and ask Sarah. Yeah, it's a little buzzy. Oh, well, it went out. There we go.
Maybe it was related to that background.
How are you Davies doing? Dan Davies and Kim Davies.
We're doing well.
Good.
I have a cold beer.
Woohoo!
Oh,
I got some hot tea.
I've got coffee and water.
David Lincoln's got a beer.
Yep.
So what do you have, Sarah? You got a drink?
Nope, I'm eating a Ritz cracker because I haven't eaten anything.
Oh, well, that counts.
Ritz
drink.
cracker. That'll hold you.
Mm-hmm.
Has some cheese or something on it.
I have a piece of ham on it.
Oh, there you go.
Is everybody having nice weather?
Yes.
We're having gorgeous weather. Yeah, Minneapolis looks, I mean, you're not even wearing a jacket, are you, Dave?
No, and it's almost jacket time. But Des and I just took a big bike ride, so that wasn't that big.
Cool.
It was big because there was a big hill, not because it was very long. I earned my beer. We went to the brewery there's a brewery that's down that we really like down by the river, but it's kind of on this side of town. It's about a 20-minute one-way bike ride, and so I put Des on the tag along.
Nice.
And we rode down and back, and it from our house east to the river generally is a downhill. Like the elevation is decreasing to the Mississippi River. So, and there's a nice, relatively new, it's a couple of years old, a bike trail that is off-road, which is great. And so you can take that almost all the way to the river road that is right next to the river. You take that down to the brewery.
Beautiful.
But like going down, you're like, I have to do this. I have to do this the opposite way coming back. And I do it with a couple growlers and a 50-pound kid on the back who doesn't really pedal very much. So it's fun. So I worked for my drink tonight.
That's right. Well, we're gonna go biking tomorrow. I'm gonna take Maria to the Tappan Square in Oberlin, and she's gonna ride that huge square. While my friend and I walk. Our first friend walk.
Say what?
Nice.
Our first friend. I'm hearing an echo. Is that just me?
Is it me?
I will mute us, see if that solves it.
Let's see. Echo, echo.
When you
That's
did that, Daniel, I lost a buzz.
yeah. But don't mute yourselves.
No. So you guys are on vacation now, right? Spring break?
Oh, yes. Woohoo! Spring break, and then the week we go back, we have a short week because it's Good Friday, and then the week after that is Easter Monday. So we have a week off and then 2 short weeks. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's good.
Maria says she misses school. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Well, it's nice to have fun at school.
Did the buzz go away or come back?
She kind of lives, she doesn't exactly live in a neighborhood with other kids her age around.
No, she hasn't had any friends visit. So soon.
Have you had your second shot, Bronwyn?
No, Matt gets his Sunday and I get mine a week from tomorrow.
Right.
So we're close.
And which one are you having?
I'm Moderna. He's Pfizer.
Uh-huh.
And you got your second, right, Holly? Did you get
Yeah.
that? And
Last Sunday.
no problems? I mean, you were worried about coming back.
I got home fine. And I was really fine that evening, but I woke up feeling a little fluey. And what the woman told me was, the woman who gave me the shot and my pulmonologist, who I just saw on Wednesday, she said people should just, after the shot, not before it, but after, just sort of prophylactically take two Tylenol.
Yep.
And pretty much should mitigate, any feelings. So that day I was kind of off, I never felt bad. I just didn't feel, I just felt off.
Right.
And then the day after that, I was my normal growly self.
Well, I probably did the wrong thing. I took 2 before and I took 2 a couple hours later. And I think I took like 1 more at night. I didn't want to feel crappy and I felt great. So
I didn't have any reaction to the first one.
That's good.
And I didn't take any Tylenol, but I think you're supposed to, you could look this up, Bronwyn, but I think you're supposed to hold off on taking the Tylenol till after your
Good to know. I'll
you can look that up and see, I'm sure. Seems to me I heard that being discussed. There's been so much information put out, it's hard to keep track of it all, but that's what the pulmonologist told me just on Wednesday. She said not before, but
after.
Anytime after.
Good. I hear Odessa. Hi, Odessa. And Paul. Paul's taking a walk.
Hi, kiddo.
Maria says hi.
Hi.
Hi. This is a little teenager.
There is an ambulance, Paul.
Do you live across from a park, David?
Kinda. We live kinda on a park.
Right.
We live on a parkway, and so The right of way kind of bleeds into us. So we do not have neighbors on the other side of our street. We just have green space and this road.
And the big road.
Yeah, which is a 2-lane road. It's not a big road, but it is a thoroughfare for sure. Even though it's a parkway, it's low speed in theory.
In theory, all right.
But it's
So you look like you're facing that with the sun going down.
yeah.
you
I'm
look like you're
facing
facing
you. I'm
northeast?
facing your. I'm facing your
Northwest.
view as west, straight west.
Northwest, right.
That street, this street that we live on, is a north-south street.
Okay.
That's lovely.
It is, it's a
Yeah.
great spot.
It is a pretty unique.
Can you see that traffic going up there at the top of the thing, Sarah? There it goes.
Yeah, it's steady.
Can you see it?
Does it actually have a sidewalk, or does your sidewalk, I see sidewalk on this side,
We have a sidewalk
Yeah,
this,
you
like, for our street,
right?
and then
It ends.
up there is the road, and on the other side of the road is a multi-use trail with walking and biking paths,
Oh, cool.
and it's part of what's called the Grand Rounds, which is it was an idea to have a complete circle around Minneapolis and kind of St. Paul, back when the park system was being developed. And Theodore Wirth was one of the main architects of that, and he's kind of like the major figure here for our parks department. There's like this movement to have, I think there are a few cities that have like at least parts of, if not complete, they're called emerald necklaces of like green space that surround cities or like kind of go through around city areas. Some
Well,
of
do
them
you
are
have-
complete, and some of them, like Minneapolis, has a couple missing links. There are a couple portions that are yet to be completed. I think mostly because of railroads, which Sarah, you know quite well how.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because our Rock Creek Park goes right up through the middle of the city, top to bottom, and then of course they've got the Crescent Trail and so forth, which kind of is defunct railroad tracks that come in a zigzag. And they've commandeered some of it, obviously. I've never
Tommy John's right on with chalk.
but it's not completely, it's not circular in circumference. It kind of goes through in different spots, and they want to
Mhm.
connect it with all the bike trails.
There is a desire to complete the Grand Rounds, but
So do you have a body of water across the street, or is it just land?
no, it's just land. Actually, it's a different city. We are a western edge border of Minneapolis. Technically,
Oh, okay.
like the other side of that road is the city of Robbinsdale, a small
Oh,
suburb.
Cool. And what kind of trees are those? Are those oak trees?
Mostly maples that I'm showing you right now. Actually, if you look way down there, I don't know if you can see, there's a
Yeah.
bunch of logs.
Yeah.
The city came through and had all of the private ash trees taken down
Oh, great.
because of the ash borer.
Ah,
A couple of our neighbors still had they've been taking down all the public like boulevard trees.
It's Sean and Libby.
Oh,
Jill's
yeah,
showing.
Jill. Hi, Jill.
Hi,
Hello.
it's my brother-in-law's birthday today, and Odessa made him a crown. So
Aw.
I'm looking at a picture of him.
Cool.
Did anybody else have a huge windstorm last night? We lost about 3 of our trees, so we're gonna go logging tomorrow. Get those
Oh,
picked
wow.
up. It was quite a storm.
Where'd everybody go?
Oh, do you want me to spotlight them?
No, I just,
Oh,
everybody, I
Oh.
see you in a big picture and little guys up at the top.
Did any of those trees fall in your yard or did they all fall in the woods?
Oh, sorry. Wood right next to our yard. Not into it, but we could see it from the porch, and lost a couple of the part of the roof of our makeshift roof on some of our firewood piles came off, and we lost a birdhouse, and it was a wild.
Yeah, I guess.
Was there a tornado warning or just a big windstorm?
I don't think so. We never got anything about a tornado. I think it was just a
That's good.
big storm. It was kind of, the windows in this house, we realized, I mean, we always knew, but, the ones in Dad's room, my gosh, it's like that poor guy. It's like the wind just comes right through those windows. Like there's not even windows there. So he was dealing with that for all those years. So we're
Well, he
hoping,
was always chilly, right?
yeah, always bundling him up, but he's in the middle of so we're going to get that fixed eventually. Holly, are you
remember
able to
when-
change your view so that you can see everybody?
I don't know how to do that. Where am I?
If you look on your screen, there should be somewhere where you can change to gallery view.
Oh, up here maybe. Gallery view.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's much more fun.
Okay.
Sarah, can we see you, or am I just being obnoxious?
No, just wait.
Okay.
The ghost.
I heard a student talk for the first time on Zoom today in 26 weeks. She's never spoken or let me see her video.
Really?
Today was the first day. It was a lucky day. Maria, you gonna come sit with me, honey?
How old is this student?
She's in 8th grade.
Huh. Is she not, does she,
no.
you think she's not, doesn't do this with other people, or is she
Well,
just the school part?
I thought so, but apparently, I don't know. She just says she's very shy, but it was nice to make the connection.
Right.
Hi, Dana and Joseph.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, Paul. Hi, Paul.
Wait, what?
Hey, Maria.
Hi, Maria.
When are you going to come to Florida? Maybe next spring break.
Matt and I
next
were
spring
talking.
break.
We were talking about shipping her off to you guys. We're gonna
All
train
right.
her around to all the siblings, and you guys can put her to work.
Yeah, well,
Sounds good.
that sounds good. We'll take you out in a canoe.
That'd be awesome.
You're looking for dolphins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't want me. She doesn't want me there, but she'd do it with you guys. Mom's not cool enough.
I bet she would miss you if you weren't there.
Yeah. She is such an animal lover. Oh my gosh. She definitely got it she got the Davies animal love. So between she'll go with all your aunts and uncles to work with their animals and help. Right? Yeah. What about the other kids, Sam and Ashley? How are they doing? And Morgan and Lindsay and
I think Morgan's going to be logging on soon. She's probably rushing home from work.
all right. You guys are, oh, there we go. Can't hear anything yet, Daniel.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, there we go.
Very muted though, Dan.
Yep. And there's a buzz associated with
Yeah, that's
his.
why I keep muting, so you don't have to listen to the buzz. I don't know where that's coming from.
There's less now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, Morgan indicated, she sent a message saying she was running a couple minutes late.
That sounds like feedback, like you have two speakers going. Do you have computer audio and phone audio going?
No, just computer audio. I tried to select a different one, try to get rid of the buzz. See if I can work on it here a little bit.
How you doing, Holly? How did you feel after number 2?
I felt fluey the next day,
Uh-huh.
but I took the Tylenol. I went to the pulmonologist on Wednesday just for an annual, look at my lung nodules,
Uh-huh.
which are fine. But she said to just wait until you take the shot and then take the Tylenol. Don't take it before, but just take it after, I mean, I felt fine that evening, but I woke up feeling less than perfect.
Right.
Less
Well,
than,
we found ourselves like tired and, took naps and realized, oh, maybe that's why after the first one.
well,
Not that day, but the next day.
yeah, and that's sort of what happened with me. I made it through my first walk, but it was not fun. I mean, I would have rather have been in bed. But when I got home, since I was lucky enough to have a few hours, I just took the Tylenol. I should have taken the Tylenol probably the night when I got home that night.
Did you drink coffee in the morning, Holly?
I don't know, probably. I don't really do anything without coffee.
Well, neither do I, but
But I drank a lot of water going up to St. Pete and coming back from St. Pete. I didn't feel bad. I just didn't feel good. When I woke up from my nap, I felt a lot better. And then the next morning, when I went and did what I had to do that afternoon, and the next morning I felt totally myself, for whatever that's worth. But, I mean, I felt normal with air quotes. So it wasn't bad at all. I don't think I had a fever. I certainly didn't have any nausea. I did not.
Good. Sarah,
Yeah.
when are you getting yours?
Sunday.
Oh,
Woohoo.
good.
Wonderful.
And what about you, Dan and Kim?
Still waiting to hear an opportunity.
Are you, is your state offering over 60 yet?
Monday,
Yes, coming up.
Monday, they open it
Coming
up
up
to
shortly.
60.
It'll be a big race.
Yeah. Is there, do
We
you
only
have
had
it?
to wait 2 days after they opened it up to 60 here.
Well, we signed up, Maryland opened up a new site that would give access to all the state-run sites. And we picked one of the sites that's out in Hagerstown, which is about an hour west of us, thinking that there's going to be less of a crowd out there rather than going in closer to town, to PG County, where there's a couple of sites. So we're hoping that that'll help it move a little faster once they open it up on Monday.
We're also pre-registered with like a half dozen other places.
Right.
So, we'll just go wherever we get the first opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
It should be soon. I think it should be soon. I'm hoping for the kids too.
Well, the
I mean,
kicker is by mid-April, they're opening a mass site in Germantown at Montgomery College, which would be amazing. That's a month away.
right. And Ash, so she's not really eligible yet,
Not yet.
nor Sam. What about
Christina's
teacher.
had hers. Maryland opened it up to teachers, so she was able to get hers, and I think she
Right.
probably just had or is about to have her second one.
Right.
And
That's
Sam's on
good.
the list in Virginia. And Ashley, I think by May 1, our governor is saying that everybody's going to be, or May 15, something like that, everybody's going to be eligible. So Ashley should be able to sign up by the middle of May.
Isn't that what the president said? He said May 1st is the all
Yeah.
adults.
Well, our governor
know,
is being weird. He's a Republican governor in a Democratic state.
Oh, yeah.
And Montgomery County is very Democratic, so he keeps kind of pushing back at us because our local council president isn't following the governor's guidelines. He's being more cautious.
They're such buttheads, really.
Plain
You know,
games.
really, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we're working very hard at developing a third peak here in Florida with spring break.
Congratulations. That's
With some,
crazy.
with some, what do they call it? With a variant
Right. At least one.
or two.
That's what worries
Yours is
Ashley is the
Moderna,
variant
Dana?
that's coming.
I'm sorry, Sarah, what did you say?
Was yours Moderna?
No, we got Pfizer.
So were you given a choice?
We could have taken J&J. They were just about to run out when we were getting to the top of the line. And we decided we'd go with Pfizer.
Yeah, I'm gonna do J&J.
That's good.
But they listed our alternatives by what they were offering, and each site of the 9 that I was allowed to look at had a different thing, but didn't have multiples. So
Uh-huh.
if you picked it, you were getting that as opposed to having a choice when you got there. So the only
Right.
place that had the J&J is across the river, where I was looking at housing at one point, and not the best part of town, but I mean, you know, I would rather just do the one thing, especially since
Yeah.
they say.
I think a lot of people feel that way. A lot of the people who were waiting in line when they started going down the line and counting, like, which one do you want? And they only had 40 doses left. A lot of people disappeared. They went away. They didn't want anything but the J&J. They didn't want to come back,
Yeah,
but they were going to have to come back anyway. That's what's
Yeah.
ironic.
exactly.
They'd already waited in line once. So it was kind of strange to us, especially given what they're saying about, you know, both of the vaccines.
Right.
The line the same for the second dose?
We don't know. We're probably not, Daniel, because it's a timed entry for the second dose. The
Right.
first one, there's a company called CDR McGuire that I think is contracted with, I think the state of Florida, but they're using Pfizer and J&J shots. And they opened a site near us. And when they did, it was first come, first serve.
Oh, my.
So we just thought, okay, we'll go. And it took us about a total of about 3 hours. We waited in line about 2.
And how far away was it?
It's 15 minutes from here.
Well, that's good.
We were already registered for St. Pete for the next day, but that's like an hour plus each way. So we thought, well, we'll just go over. And then once we were waiting, we thought, we'll just wait. Because then the second one.
Were you registered at Publix?
No, we were
Same-
registered through that same portal. It's called Patient Portal FL for Florida.com. And
Right.
they assigned us to a health center in Pinellas, in St. Pete.
Right. I've never gotten a call back from any of the places I registered. Not that I care.
We
now,
think
but-
that they went in through when we got there, we think they went in and canceled our appointments for the next day. But it was the same system.
Right.
That makes sense. Otherwise, they'd be chasing people that already had it forever.
Well,
Right.
I don't think they're chasing. I think they're just trying to give things away at the end of the day.
Right.
I think that's what
Yeah, at Publix, they said, don't bother trying to cancel. We'll just take care of the shot at the end of the day. We'll give it to our
Right.
associates, one of our associates. So they were not concerned if you didn't want to go. Because I registered Randy in St. Pete. Randy said, I'm not going out of Lee County. So that was completely, and I knew that when I registered him. I just thought in case he had a change of
Yeah.
heart. But he ended up getting registered to a Publix in Cape Coral, which is not that far. Hop, skip, and a jump. Hop, skip, and a jump, Odessa.
Odessa, what's happening in school?
You're muted,
No.
Odessa.
Oh,
I said I know.
What is happening in school?
I know you know.
Mostly learning and playing.
Learning what? Playing what?
Well, we play on the playground a lot, outside, and we're learning to like separate numbers, like, and then make them into one number, and then learning how to make that number.
Can you give him an example?
Like, 2. 1, 1, 2.
yeah, there you go.
Or a number, a bigger example? What is that,
13.
5? Oh, 13, okay.
10, 3, 13.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's going to Mars.
Oh, I hope not.
20, 2, 0, 20.
I work out like that. I think 20, 10 and 10 maybe?
10, 10, 20,
Uh-huh.
We can't eat our berries until
30. 10, 10, 10, 30.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Are you on break now, Odessa? Do you have spring break or do you go back to school on Monday?
Well, I am on church spring break.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes gestures work.
For
but it's not a
Easter.
gesture.
You want me to get rid of this?
Right.
It's
What's your favorite kind of Easter candy, Odessa? We like yellow peeps. We don't eat any other kind of peeps but yellow.
Why is
Kids,
that?
Odessa?
No, but my favorite kind is chocolate Easter bunnies.
Oh,
Ah,
Mm.
yes.
Well, at least there's a
Me
chocoholic
too.
in the family.
That's right.
My favorite is Cadbury cream eggs.
Yes.
Oh, those are gross. They're so
No.
disgusting.
No, they're not.
that's what the Herrings like those too.
And the chocolate
Like-
cream eggs are also good. But
I got
I'm a
some of
Starburst
those.
jelly bean girl.
Oh, yeah.
I love Starbursts.
Yeah,
I want a dark chocolate bunny and a dark peanut butter.
Oh, there you go, Kim. That,
yeah, they turned green to sour apple.
Any candy. We really aren't picky. The only thing I will not eat are pink peeps because pink food coloring tastes disgusting. But
Really?
They
Does
actually
it
have
taste
flavors?
different? Does it taste different? The
Very
different colors? I didn't know that.
yeah.
Neither did I.
I thought
I
it
buy
was
them
just
for
dyed.
I've never like.
So what do the green ones taste like and the blue ones?
I don't know. They taste well. I do know they don't taste good. They only the yellow.
The yellow tastes like lemon or what?
No, they just don't have that sort of artificial coloring taste that the others do.
Isn't that
Oh,
funny?
really?
I
I'm
never
just
knew that.
weird. I'm just
But
weird.
I don't eat, I haven't
don't
eaten
eat 'em
enough
either.
of those to know.
We went to the store for the first time and we had way too much fun. We went to Walmart. Oh my gosh. We're going to Target soon, Joe. We promise. That's our next big stop. Walmart was closer. But Maria, for her 10th birthday, really wants we want to redo her room. So we're going to check out some stuff at Target and see what we can do.
Cool.
Is that the room you're in now?
Yes. Maria wanted to Zoom in a new location.
Mhm.
Morgan! Hello!
She's got those after work eyes.
We can't see you,
Hello.
Morgan.
Hello.
Can't see
No.
me?
Yes,
No, well,
I can see you.
Well, maybe we got to change our view.
we have to change our view here. Oh, gallery.
Well,
Oh,
there she is.
there she is.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, sweet.
I was looking at Aurora Grace's wonderful Easter candy online, and then realized that it's you guys don't send that, right? That's just for pickup. All your Easter goodies.
We ship nationwide.
I
Dan and
know.
Kim got an order. My parents got an order.
For the Easter stuff. Okay, I figured I was missing something.
There's some things we can't ship, like we can't ship ice cream yet. But you should go on and
Uh-oh.
I can't even
Lost
get
Janet.
ice cream home from the store without it melting.
Lost Morgan for a minute.
Yeah, Bronwyn, if you go to the website, there's, I think there's a link
Yeah,
that says shippable items.
right. I was on there, and it was like, yeah. Well, I will look again. I'm on it right now. We were drooling over the delicious looking bunnies that you crack open.
Yeah.
I figured I was miss.
But you know what? I think you're right. I think when I looked after Morgan showed us those bunnies the other day, I don't think I saw them in the shippable items. Morgan, you're frozen.
She actually got
she's
this-
gone.
Oh, she's gone.
Are you having dinner?
Oh, there she goes. I wish I could do that to you these days, but you break my
Well, if
back.
she is, it's going to be out again soon. In again, out again.
Oh, Morgan sends us all a message. Be right back. We're gonna see perfect tomorrow. Perfect tomorrow.
So, Bronwyn, you said you're going to do some planting over spring break?
Yeah, Matt, tomorrow we have a huge planter that was just delivered that we're renting, and Matt and his dad in the next few days are going to plant 4 types of grasses that, prairie grasses and different wild grasses, different cover crops that last for 3 years, because within that we're going to be planting about 4,500 trees at the end of this week. So that's going to be.
Wow.
4,500?
Yes, almost
Wow.
close to 5,000 trees, about, yay big.
So are
And
you doing tree farming?
yeah, so we found a way to, we're taking the land out front. We took it away from the farmers because we're just so sick of that not very great farming practices that they do, and just the pesticides and stuff that they spray on it. And anyway, we've been wanting to do something with it for a while, but of course, if you take it out of that farming tax bracket or whatever, you pay huge fines. And so we're able to get it through forestry plan. We're able to still get that tax break, and it'll take 30 years for those trees to be useful in any way. But so we're gonna plant prairie grass, and we're gonna plant trees, and 10 different species of trees, and it's quite a project. But
That's great.
yeah, it's intense. It's been a long. Matt has been, he's off work, but between helping her and all of the stuff he's been doing, he's full time. But it should be exciting. So in 5 years, we might have some beautiful prairie grasses for everybody to enjoy walking through. But it's not gonna look great for a while. But I'm not sure how I'm going to help plant 5,000 trees. I mean, I just can't imagine.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
So
of
it's the
trees.
whole front piece, so your view of the road will be blocked.
In like 10 years, we are planting in one section just prairie grass that won't grow, so we won't that stretch out that way. I don't even know my directions, but in one of the directions will not be blocked, so we'll have that beautiful open view. But the houses will be
You mean
blocked.
behind where Dad would sit, behind where Dad would sit at the table?
Right, exactly.
That area?
Uh-huh, yep,
Right.
yep. I sit there now in Dad's chair, and it's always nice and sad at the same time. Stop doing that. I swivel around and look at his view. And yeah, so that's the view we're gonna preserve. But it'll be a job and a half. Well, I guess we sit in the back of this huge planter that we have to rent, and one person drives, the other person plops it in. The planter opens up the earth, you plop it in, and it cycles around, and you plop it in again, and we just do that 5,000 times, and we'll be done.
God. Wow, what a project! What a project!
So in the prairie grasses, are you also did you look into wildflowers that are native to your area?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, we've already planted that section. Matt, he's done intricate things all over the place. So we've got these wildflower swaths. Yes, so we're very excited.
That's great.
Yeah, it's been a huge project. Matt is really gearing up here for an exciting week. So we'll see what happens.
Wow.
We'll know in a few years if it actually worked.
And you can actually plant wildflowers, tuck them in anywhere, really.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, our bees will be very happy.
So what is the spacing on your trees?
Oh, Matt would be so mad at me that I'm not. I think it's 10 feet.
Okay.
I think. Does that sound likely?
Good for saplings, and then in several years you'll lose some, and you'll cull some out and thin out the forest, so to speak.
Right. Yeah. You guys know more than I do. It's a little confusing, but excited. And we continue to get through our woods, and there's always trees down, and so we go back up there and log them out and chop them up and burn them, and it's nonstop as pretend farmers that we are. So anyway, you're gonna help us, right? You're gonna be our co-planter. Okay, good.
What about irrigation? What about water?
That's a good question. What did Matt say? I feel like we don't. I think we only have to water for a short period of time, but that's going to be huge. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to load up. I don't know how we're going to do that.
Right. But pretty soon, being that it's spring.
Right.
Hopefully you'll get some rain, some good rain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
It would be nice not to have to hide away from the spray for days.
Yeah,
that whole process.
I always wonder about people who like to live right on a golf course. I go, why? Wonder about all that stuff that they use. And I know that some golf courses are better than others in that regard, but
right.
I don't know. Stuff wafting around.
Right.
Supper. They're
so sweet. They're so good at the table.
They're finally chill. Let's just.
Well,
good.
thank you very much.
What are you eating? What are you eating?
Something yummy.
Yeah, the temperature in Minneapolis isn't so bad during the day right now.
How warm is it, Holly?
I don't know, like 60 something high,
Uh-huh.
maybe.
Good.
I mean, you know, it's not
Let us know when
freezing.
you pick your dates.
Yeah, well, David suggested the 4th through something.
551.
How many pairs of glasses do you have, Dana?
Several. This is a special from Dollar Tree. They cost $1.
Very nice.
I really should, you know, they fall apart so fast. I really should like try to do something else, but I haven't gotten there yet. I should use Warby or somebody. I really, you know, I've been told just to use readers, not to try to do anything else with my eyesight. And so as a result, it's very easy to just go buy number 2.
Buy 5 pairs of number 2, it costs you $5.
And I lose them all over the place. I mean, they're just everywhere. Joseph's much more organized with his glasses placement. Mine, I keep losing mine. So I then steal his, you know, locked up together for a long time.
But yeah, unfortunately, we both.
So you need them for reading? That's why you need them
And
is for
close,
reading?
yeah, like it's harder for me to sort of see things without it being a little fuzzy on the computer.
Right.
But my distance is very good. My distance vision is very good.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
opposite.
So I can see things up close very well.
What'd you say, Dan?
I can see things up close very well. It's the distance I can't see.
Me too.
Same here.
And I really find that the progressive lenses, they're more irritating when I'm trying to look at close things than anything. I mean, I can do it, but I prefer to not have them on. I mean, I wear my glasses pretty much all the time, certainly for driving or just in general, but when I'm trying to read something with my glasses on, it's like, oh, I end up taking them off.
Right.
There's Morgan.
Hey, Morgan.
There's Morgan.
Hi.
There's Morgan. Yawning.
And we're back.
Yeah.
How's the
How's it
beast
feel?
doing, Morgan?
Great.
Sleeping.
He's sleeping. He's
Resting.
to the bed. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's out. He just ate and he's like. So yes, Roman, you can definitely get that stuff online. I don't know exactly what. I know the pre-orders launched today, but pre-orders are not for shipping. So you should be able to order chocolates and what have you. And we have some Easter stuff that we also are doing that you can get mailed to you.
Good. I think, yeah, I was looking at the pre-orders in the wrong section.
You can do I think there's a lot of moving parts. I don't really know everything that's on the pre-order list because my boss is still working. It's just chaotic. It's more chaotic than Valentine's. I don't know why. I wasn't expecting that. I was told Valentine's was going to be the worst, but this is just mayhem. Today was crazy. So I apologize for being late, but I'm here.
We're glad.
To answer your question, he's doing well, Mom. He's doing well. We've got our next checkup on Monday. Urine analysis.
What happened?
What happened? Well, he basically went into kidney failure. He stayed in the hospital, I guess it was 2 nights. I got him back on last Friday. And then they need to do a weekly checkup, but of course they were completely booked. They've got a ton of surgeries, I guess, today and tomorrow. And the vet isn't open on Sundays. So Monday is the earliest I could get him in. And he's on some meds until then. And we've had to change the diet. So he's eating like urine food, which he likes, which is great. But they want me to move more sort of like wet. I was feeding him mostly dry. Now
Right.
they're like pushing for wet stuff.
And he's peeing, right?
Oh yeah. And I'm like on it twice a day.
Yeah.
Great. He and I are like best friends now with the whole kitty litter but
good.
He basically had a potassium buildup that they believe is genetic. Also, he's predisposition to it more likely because he's male. So the urethra is smaller. And then on top of that, they believe it's something that probably started before I even got him in May.
Right.
But the last 3 weeks before last Wednesday, he was definitely like crying more than normal. And that I know that's the warning sign of him saying that like he's in pain. But the Tuesday night I was up with him all night because I called the emergency vet, which is like not too far away from me, but they don't let you in. And it was like 1 a.m. and they were like, well, you have to wait on the street. You know, it could be up to 3 hours until we can triage him and let you know what the problem is. I'm like, I'm not waiting I don't have a car. You know, I'm not waiting on the street in the middle of the night next to the fucking, excuse my language, next to, the Delaware River. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I stayed up with him all night because the woman at the emergency vet was like, he's going to die. He's going to die. So, of course, I was absolutely beside myself. I called Holly crying. I called my mom. My mom was the only person who picked up. I called my neighbors. I called everybody I know in Philadelphia to be like, help me. Do you have a vehicle? My mom was the only one who picked up. And because that's your job, I guess. And then, but yeah, first thing in the morning, I literally called the vet and they were like, come here now immediately. And luckily my neighbor was able to get me a carrier to use because I didn't have a carrier at that point. I have one now. And I raced over there first thing in the morning when the vet opened. And I came in and they're like, what's the pet's name? I was like, Bo. And they like grabbed the carrier from me and raced into the back. And they basically said he was probably 12 hours away from having to be euthanized.
Right. Yeah,
So
you're lucky. It happens fast. It's amazing.
now I know the warnings.
When there's a blockage, it happens fast.
I mean, he wasn't not peeing for 3 weeks. I mean,
Nobody probably wasn't peeing as much as he needed to or wanted to.
now I'm definitely, on it. And we'll just have to see. They'll do a checkup on Monday for the potassium levels to see how the medication is working. And then we'll do another one in a month, depending obviously on how the Monday one goes. But he only has to be in there for the day. You know, they're going to let me drop him off in the morning and then he'll probably be there until he pees. They'll check it and then I can pick him up if everything's okay. Hopefully.
Sounds good.
But yeah, apparently they get 3 strikes. Male cats get 3 strikes. So this was strike 1. And then after the 3rd strike, they can do an operation on his penis to enlarge the opening. But it can be a difficult recovery depending on the age of the
Right.
cat. So I don't want to get to that.
Right.
1 strike is enough.
So
But
what
the food
what
is forever.
is the food prescription from them?
No, it's like something that they gave me that I bought from them, but I can buy it online. Hills
Okay.
makes some. I think Purina makes some. It's just a urine. They call it UO tract food. It's
Right.
supposed to promote them being able to have a cleaner flow in the urethra.
Right.
So we'll be on that forever. But luckily he likes it, which is good. But hopefully we won't have to be on the medication past Monday, I hope, because it's a pain in the ass with the little fucking syringe and the...
You can't put it in his food, Morgan?
Yeah, but I have to measure it Sarah. It's like in a vial. I have to measure how much I give him. I don't want to overdose my cat and then go to work.
I know, but they didn't give you a dropper with, they didn't give you a calibrated dropper?
Syringes, which at this point, because of the medication, all of the numbers have rubbed off. So I taped it where I need to do for the 2 different
There
colors.
you go. There you go.
But it's like the syringe is a piece of shit. So it's like, you know, every morning it's really, really small. So it's like, and then
When you
every
go
break-
in, when you go in Monday, ask them for a couple of them.
I'm gonna ask him. I mean, if he has to stay on this for another month, I'm gonna ask him for a box.
Or
The other
something.
thing,
Yeah.
the other thing you can use, Morgan, is diabetic syringes. You can go in
Well, I
and
mean, I could
get.
just use an eyedropper if I measure it out, and then use a glass eyedropper and just have it. Like I have a couple of those that, you know, I don't have. You know, I've just kept the vials of stuff I've used for my face or whatever. So I can sanitize one and use one of those and just measure it from
Right.
whatever the little vial, the little syringe they give me is. But I don't want to eye it. Because
Right.
one of the things I'm giving him has got morphine in it, so it's like it is, you know, necessary for me to.
No, you want it to be as exact as you can be. Perfect.
But you know, hopefully there's going to be a lot of other questions I can ask, you know, about sedatives and other things. You know, my mom suggested Demonose, vinegar, cranberry juice, coconut oil, all things that are homeopathic that I want to try to use as well. So I mean, if he doesn't need to be on prescriptions, like, are cheaper. But I think the food is the main thing. Like, that's not going to change.
The food is the main thing, and getting rid of the inflammation right now is the other thing, and that's what the medication is doing, and hopefully you can get
It's
off
gone down.
that.
It's amazing. I felt really bad when I got him back. Well, the first night he came back, he was like really over me, but he was still very groggy. He ate a little bit on the first night back, but then the next day he came out and he was like fucking sunshine weather, and I noticed that his belly was like, and I felt so bad because that means that he had a huge amount of block up.
Right.
But like as soon as we got home, he was really good. I opened the carrier right in front of the litter box. He jumped out and he peed. Oh, and this is funny too. I'm in the waiting room with the technician. They brought him from the back, and like the carrier, like I put his blanket in it when I took him there. And it's a carrier that my neighbor lent me. It's a plastic one of those hard carriers. And like the technician is going over the medication with me and all of that. And he just starts to pee in the waiting room. And she got all excited. And I was like, great, now I have to clean the carrier. Like, this is awesome. Like, oh, like, I love you too. But so that was pretty funny. Walking home, like dripping urine down the street. It's like, that's fine, everybody. He can go now. But she was all excited. She's like, look how excited he is to see mommy. And I was like, we don't use that term at the house. They like me over there. They think I'm real good. But anyway, enough about me.
Well, I'm glad to hear he's on the path, the right path.
That's good.
Yeah, he's much better. He's still his grumpy old standoffish self. So I'm glad that wasn't a factor of the urine problems.
So Holly, what's your opinion about getting the med insurance for cats?
I don't know, Sarah. I think you have to.
Well, in her case right now, wouldn't that have covered some of it?
I don't know. I haven't investigated it, so I don't know.
No help.
And it really depends.
I have cat insurance. Sarah, I have cat insurance.
Well, yeah, dog or cat insurance, the regular. I started to look into it. My cats are too old at this point. They won't even take them. But somebody else suggested that I do that. And I know Banfield, which is part of PetSmart, I guess, or Pet whatever. Or they usually are housed, their clinics are usually housed in there. I know several different chain stores have some sort of an affiliation with that kind of an organization, that kind of vet organization. And then of course they're trying to sell something along those lines. And I just didn't know if Holly knew of anybody that.
I know people that have pet insurance, but I don't I'm not involved with that aspect of it generally, and so I don't know.
But you've never used it for anything
I
of
have
yours?
never used pet insurance.
Okay.
So I have pet insurance,
But I-
Sarah, and
You
it's
do?
through, yep, it was suggested to me by the company that has him microchipped.
Right.
So it was suggested to me by the shelter, and I signed up for it in May. And it basically will cover the things it will cover, because I've called them this week, is that they'll be able to cover long-term medication and surgery, major surgery. So if this becomes a chronic thing, meaning like I do need to keep him on medication full time, they will help me to cover that.
Right.
Yeah.
But,
So that's a
but
good, that's why I have like the baseline one. They're not going to help with this visit, but they're going to help in terms of like long-term, or
Yeah,
if
well,
he
that's
had to have major surgery, I get a 45% remise.
Okay.
do you find it, is it expensive? Do you pay by the year, the month, what?
I pay by the month. It's $26.
That's doable.
I mean, it's going to be worth it for the medication if I have to do it full time,
Right.
for sure. I don't want to deal with a $4,000 surgery bill too, but hopefully we won't ever have to deal with that unless he's older and it's a different problem,
Right.
But then also too,
How
like
old?
he's between 5 and 7. What?
I wondered how old he was. You said he was between 5 and 7.
Yeah,
Right.
the shelter couldn't give me an exact number. So I go on the old side because I'm so positive. So I'm going 7. So if I have him for another 7 years, in 7 years, if he needs a surgery, it really will depend on what the surgery is. I mean, 14 years for a cat is old. So is it, it'll become a question of whether it's worth it. I know that doesn't make me sound very nice, people, but I'm just trying to be realistic.
It's a good way to be, if you ask me.
Lower, lower, lower.
Well, no, Max died. He was just going to turn 13. And the other two I've got, one is 17 and the other 16. So same difference, but they're both female.
It very much encouraged me, especially the foster woman who took care of Bo after he left the shelter. It encouraged me to use this company. They're local, and they were, their Philly Paws uses them specifically because they are affiliated with the microchip company that they use to microchip all these strays that they find, dog
Right.
or cat.
Right.
And they're great. Their customer service is great. There's 8 people who work there. So every time I call, I always speak to the same person. I'm sure they're all working remotely, but they're very responsive. It's not like going through one of the big pet store chains where you're paying and you don't know who you're talking to,
Right.
I can give you the information if you want, Sarah. I can email it to you, but I don't know if you're going to be able to do that. It might be a only PA resident thing. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I know they're all over. When I had my cats chipped, and I did have them chipped, I hadn't done the follow-up of specifically paying for a monthly thing because most of the time they were inside. So I wasn't even aware at the time. I knew there was a charge associated with it, but it had been years. And when I lost Max, when I lost him that time and Humane Society picked him up, I happened to see him because they posted his picture about 5 days after they picked him up. I was checking it every day.
Where are you going, Sarah?
What?
Where are you going? You went from.
What I'm saying is, even though he had a chip, and even though it had my old information on it,
Yeah.
which was the same number because I had it forever, I never heard from them. But then I found out that just because you've got the chip, unless you're actually paying the monthly, they don't automatically maintain it.
Oh, I don't know if that may be for that place, but I don't know if
Well, that's
that's
why I
the
say
case.
I don't know I can't even tell you the name of the company. All I know is I have all of them were done at the same time. So obviously they were using the same company, I'm sure. And I was just curious because remember that time mom's cat, the cat mom ended up with? The big cat?
Got it.
Scotty. He had a chip, right?
Yeah.
And they tried to find that they supposedly,
Well, it went to a non-working number or something, you know, I mean, people. Yeah,
Whose cat was Isis? Was that your cat, Holly?
no, that was a client's cat that she died suddenly, unexpectedly, and left
Yeah,
two cats. And her family didn't take them, just left them, basically. So another woman on the island took one, and I took Isis.
How long did you have her for?
I'm trying to think. I know she was born in, I think, 95, without looking it up. And I think she was 13 or so when I got her. And she was 20 when she died.
and was she always that skinny?
Scotty.
She was always that skinny. She was just a little kitty,
Yeah, no, I know.
just a little bitty thing. She was a cross between a Siamese and a tabby cat. She had a voice, she looked like a tabby cat and the voice of a Siamese.
Yeah, she sure had the voice of the Siamese.
But she was very tiny. She was a tiny little thing. And she was pretty healthy, you know, until she wasn't.
And what was her problem at the end?
Oh, I
Although
don't know.
at 20, anything could have been.
She was dying.
Right.
Lincoln, what are you eating?
Something very healthy.
I
What are
just
you
noticed
eating?
you were like scarfing something down. It looked like lettuce.
Potato chips.
No.
Oh, okay. I could have
Oh,
figured.
those lettuce potato chips.
I don't know. It just looked like lettuce at one point. I was like, wow, he's like me. He's eating greens right raw
I'm
out
eating
of a
mostly
bowl.
the leftovers of all of the various half-eaten things.
That's what I saw you doing. It was reminding me of Grandpa that he used to like
Vacuum.
clean
Dad.
all our plates.
Dad.
Yeah,
Dad did that.
Dad did it all the time.
Well, Paul's found his appetite. He's a Hoover for the most part.
Yeah, you probably won't have to clean up much after him.
No, well, it depends on if he gets as picky as Odessa.
That'll be a phase.
Picky
Yes,
eater?
but Odessa's a very picky eater right now. Yep.
Right now. She wasn't when she was little.
No.
That could change. I had
will change.
phases.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. It's frustrating, but it's not. I just gotta.
You laughing at me, Mom?
David was not picky.
We all know. We all know.
I'm better than I was, Mom.
You
and
are.
I'm definitely not the.
I would think after all your exposure to food, you've tried so many different things that I've never.
Doesn't mean I want to eat it.
No, but at least you've tried them.
I mean, I used to not. Okay, so I have two major things. One is, well, three. I don't eat tomatoes unless it's the summer. I don't eat chicken, and I don't eat scallops.
You don't eat scallops?
Each his
Oh.
I love how this is my favorite thing too. How many times have we gone over this, Mom? How many times? Like, this is the reason why we started eating monkfish cheeks, because you guys were like, scallops are great. I hate scallops, even when they're wrapped in bacon.
Oh.
To
Here
each
we
his
go.
own. To
Like
each
that is
his
not
own.
amazing. That's three things. It's not like I only eat white food or brown food. I eat a lot of greens. I don't eat enough fruit.
That's
You
good.
don't eat any kind of chicken?
No, not for about, what are we in now? 21? I haven't had chicken since my first year in England. So that was 2014.
No, that's not true. You ate it in tour with us that night and you got sick on it. Remember that restaurant?
My
That's
first
why
year
we're not
in
in
England.
Do you
Oh,
eat
yeah.
My first year in England.
Yeah.
you eat eggs?
Yes, I do. And I know that I've had a lot of people tell me that's counterproductive. It isn't.
Well, I just was wondering if you liked eggs.
I love
that's
eggs.
all.
I eat them basically every day.
Yeah.
Eggs, cheese, all
Oh.
other kinds of meat except scallops. Love seafood. I love oysters. I love raw on the, half shell stuff. I mean, I'm not partial to
Yep.
clams, but I won't not eat them. But like scallops, it's a textural thing. And then tomatoes to me,
It is a textural
tomatoes
thing.
to me, it's
Yeah.
like I don't eat hothouse tomatoes. Like I don't eat tomatoes in the middle of the winter because where are they coming from? They're coming from a hothouse somewhere in like Canada. Like I don't want to eat that. I don't need that in my life. They taste like water.
You ought to grow some Everglades
Now,
tomatoes
there is
in a
this thing
pot
that
in your apartment.
that I learned when I lived
Yes.
abroad called seasonality. And the beautiful thing about it is that like you shouldn't have access to all kinds of produce all through the year. It's not the way the earth works.
Right.
So if you can acclimate
Well, it is
yourself
the
to
way the
that,
earth works when you're in the South.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Florida tomatoes have anything on Jersey tomatoes or French or Italian.
Well, it depends where and how they're grown.
You don't eat
Doesn't
tomatoes
it?
in France in the winter. You just don't do it. That's
Yeah.
not when they grow.
Oh. Well, I don't like. I don't buy
Oh,
California.
change of
What are you
subject. Change of
doing?
subject. The cute boy is here.
Hi, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
And Odessa.
God, I want his hair. Hi, Odessa.
Yeah.
There you
Good
go.
job, big sister. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
But you need to go a little back so that I can see you. Go back. Go back.
Oh, sit.
You went left.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there you are.
Hi.
He's almost 2, right?
2 next
In
week.
4 days.
Wow.
Woohoo.
Happy birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños.
It's hard to believe.
Yep. He's getting a construction cake just like Dust had for her second.
All
I
right.
remember that cake. It was so cool. Hey, Odessa, are you going to make the cake with your mom?
Me and my mom love to bake.
Yep. I was wondering.
Even sometimes make cookies and cupcakes for our neighbors.
Ooh.
But don't say that word out loud because Paul will get excited about it. That's what I said.
We'll
Me
just spell
too.
it out.
We're gonna sign off and
Because we have a sleepover to get to. Every Friday, maybe IC, which stands for ice cream, and we have an IC thing, and then we sleep in the basement. With
Yes. That sounds awesome.
That sounds good.
That sounds great.
Every Friday forever?
you've done it for now what? How many sleepovers do you think you've done?
Maybe like 5 in a row.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of
that's sheets.
what's a mattress pad for a new mattress.
Is there a particular flavor that's the favorite?
I mostly like fish food.
Fish food? Oh.
Fish food. Ooh.
It's a Ben and Jerry's.
Is that Ben and Jerry's?
Jerry's?
Mm.
Mm.
Way to
Not
support,
chocolate.
way to support the good companies, kids. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
What's that? Lisa?
We
That's
made,
great.
we made like a dairy-free,
Turns out
like an
Hy-Vee doesn't have Oatly.
Oatly. We've been using Oatly the last couple weeks, which certain flavors are, I mean, it's not like rich, creamy ice cream, but it's pretty good.
We make our
Have you tried, David, have you tried Halo?
I've tried Halo. Halo's okay. I like Oatly more, actually.
That's
Oh,
really
really?
Aftertaste.
Halo does have dairy. So the thing is,
Oh, that's safe. I
so
see.
Odessa has a,
Halo leaves an aftertaste too.
I think so too. Yeah. Des has a, like, I don't think it came back as an actual allergy, but she definitely has a reaction to dairy. He stinks.
Oh,
Like
stop.
You stop. Her body odor is serious when she eats dairy.
Wow.
So we just try to minimize it,
Maybe that's
avoid it. Because
I was
she
gonna say,
I
Mom,
wasn't
Mom,
gonna
you
say
should
anything,
mute. You should mute, Mom.
So we try to, like, we haven't eliminated dairy, but we try to minimize it. And
Sure,
school
that
lunches
makes sense.
it's impossible with doing school
Yeah.
lunches. But with things like ice cream, we've tried to find different, and
Well,
Oatly chocolate, and I've actually gotten Oatly coffee. That's pretty, not bad.
Try Yasso. Have you tried Yasso bars?
No,
They're great.
But that is dairy.
It's dairy,
yogurt.
it's
Dairy
yogurt.
in it, Mom.
I thought they were
They're not dairy
They're
free.
Greek
They're
yogurt.
fat-free, but they're still dairy.
I thought they had
Oh.
like they were soy.
No.
I don't know.
I
wanna
wouldn't
check
I
'em out.
wouldn't- I
well,
wouldn't.
if anyone does, it's not as fun. And of course, Jill and I sometimes still keep a pint of the goods.
Right.
In the back of the freezer, top back
Yeah, I
of the
know
freezer.
that.
Yeah,
Just a
My
pint?
mother used to try to save things for
my
herself.
mother
in
did
the
too, and
back of the
I
freezer.
did not respect it.
Oh, nobody ever told me that secret.
I would find that stuff no matter.
You know what
remember that.
you know what I
time.
always found that I would not be able to contain myself with was my mom's after 8 minutes.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
those thin ones, the big square.
Mhm.
Fun.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember one. I remember
Just a
having
tiny
those.
little thin one.
Gosh, I haven't had those for
Waffle
years.
thin.
that's right.
Waffle
Waffle.
bean.
And Jill's doing the same thing as, like, I see parallels, like with, like, where my mom, like, thinking back to finding things in the fridge, and I was like, oh yeah, that was like the one thing that my mom would buy to try to, like, just a little treat here and there. Like Jill's bought like a nice bar of dark chocolate, and of course, like, kids don't like nice dark chocolate right now, but I could see in like 3 years that just being ferreted out.
Yep.
I'm done.
Maria finds all of it, and so does Matt.
I was just sitting in coloring by myself.
Oh.
I have a vague memory, Mom, of you having something with a key
Oh.
Really?
in the freezer.
Really?
You mean the freezer in the basement with a sawed up body in it? That one?
No, so that's supposed to be a secret. I knew about that one.
Mother kept Heath bars. Heath
Oh,
bars
yeah.
were her favorite when we lived in Jacobstown, and we had a freezer in that horrible basement, which was
They're amazing frozen. I love Heath bars.
unfinished and just dirt and cement, and it wasn't really a basement, it was just a hole, but it had this little freezer in it, refrigerator, and Mom used to keep her Heath bars in the back of that freezer, and poor thing. I'm sure there were many times when she went, well, I had 3 and now I have none. I haven't eaten any, so
I have no memory of
daughter
that.
of mine. What?
I have no memory of the basement or the crawl space. Or
It was
whatever.
just a unfinished, totally unfinished. I mean, the floor was dirt, basically. It was not,
Doesn't ring a bell. I can
wasn't a
see
place,
the rest of the house now.
it was not a place to hang out in.
Don't even need a freezer to hide the bodies. You just bury them in the dirt.
That's
There might have been some down there.
That's what I suggested to Joseph, but he said we had to be careful because of DNA.
Yeah. New concrete's noticeable.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
All
It's that
right.
time.
Yep.
It's nice. Always nice to see you all.
Good to see everybody.
Love you all.
Yes,
Bye,
lots of
everybody.
love.
Take
Good
care.
luck getting
care.
vaccinated.
Yeah, good luck, David.
Yeah, everybody,
Have
good
fun.
luck if they're
Right
on
on.
going on to their second shot.
I want to talk to you soon, though, please.
Yeah,
David.
Mom,
Lincoln.
I need to talk to you soon too,
Okay.
please.
Uh-oh. Y'all
Did
in
you
trouble?
review the information I sent?
And Holly, Bronwyn, have fun planting.
Yep,
Oh, I
have fun.
will.
Bron- Take some pictures, Bronwyn.
I will. I'll take a
Yeah.
video of me failing.
No, and we want to know about what kind of trees you're planting.
Oh, well, good. I will send you a detailed list. I tried to remember from Matt, but I didn't. So I will.
Yes,
I'll let you
send
know.
us.
The Fox Forest.
That's right.
Yes. Dan and Kim, I'm glad to see you. I didn't hear anything from you, but I love you.
Love you too, Morgan.
All right. Good
Take
night,
care, guys.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.